Human desire is not driven by what we actually need to survive. It is driven by what we are told we cannot have. Deep within our ancient reptilian brain, there is a primal hunger that screams whenever it perceives something as rare, dwindling, or exclusive. This is called the scarcity principle. It is the psychological phenomenon where we assign a much higher value to an object or an opportunity simply because its availability is limited. It is a biological panic response, a terrifying fear that if we do not act right now, at this very second, we will lose out forever. This fear of missing out is not a coincidence. It is the ultimate weapon of the global elite and the corporate masters who run the matrix. They know that if they can manufacture an artificial famine in your mind, your logic will evaporate instantly, and your survival instincts will take complete control of your wallet. You will pay 10 times the price for something you do not even want, just because a timer told you it is the last one. Sovereignty is the ability to walk away from a limited time offer with a cold, calm, and detached mind. If you do not understand the mechanics of scarcity, you are not a consumer. You are a target in a brutal psychological war. Before we expose the dark tactics of the scarcity mongers, you must understand your position in this invisible battle. Most people will spend their entire lives as panic buyers. They are the background actors who spend their days chasing shadows and ending soon countdowns. But we are building a completely different breed of human being. We are building a community of 100,000 elite minds, a collective of sovereign individuals who value their own time and their own judgment more than any limited edition trap. If you have the internal strength to remain calm when the entire world is screaming at you to hurry up, you must join us now. Subscribe now to join our mission of 100,000 elite minds. This is where you learn to see through the illusion of the last chance. This is where you reclaim your wealth, your dignity, and your peace of mind. In the 1970s, researchers conducted a study involving simple cookies in a jar. They found that people rated the exact same cookies as more delicious and more valuable when there were only 2 in the jar, compared to when there were 10. This is the absurdity of the human condition. Our taste buds are literally hijacked by the concept of quantity. In the United States today, this is the engine of Black Friday riots and drop culture. People will literally crush each other in the aisles of a store for a product they did not even know existed 5 minutes ago, simply because there is a limited quantity. They are not buying a product. They are trying to soothe a biological panic that has been intentionally triggered by a marketing department sitting in a high-rise building. Fyodor Dostoevsky once wrote that man is a creature that can get used to anything, but he never gets used to the feeling of being left behind while the tribe moves on. The elite weaponize this fear to make you run in circles. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer once remarked that wealth is like seawater. The more we drink, the thirstier we become. The scarcity principle is the salt in that water. It keeps you in a state of perpetual lack and psychological poverty. The elite understand that a satisfied man is a dangerous man, because a satisfied man cannot be controlled or manipulated. Therefore, they must keep you in a state of artificial hunger. They use deadlines, countdown timers, and exclusive memberships to make you feel like you are standing on a shrinking island in the middle of a vast ocean. But the island is not shrinking. It is an illusion created by the master manipulators. Data from the retail sector in the United States shows that a simple, limited time only sign can increase sales by over 40%, regardless of the actual value of the item. Logic is always the first casualty of the ticking clock. If you are starting to feel the phantom weight of the ticking clock in your own life, you are finally waking up. Share this video right now with one person who is currently obsessed with chasing the next limited drop. You might just save them from a lifetime of financial slavery. Robert Greene, in his ruthless and calculated masterpiece, The 48 Laws of Power, Law number 16, commands us to use absence to increase respect and honor. He knows that if you are too available, you become common, cheap, and easily discarded. Scarcity is not just about physical products. It is about the architecture of power itself. The elite make themselves scarce. They make their information scarce. They make their time scarce. By doing so, they force the world to crawl to them. Most people are too available. They are always reachable, always talking, and always desperate for a crumb of attention. They are building a prison of commonness around their own value. But the intellectually sovereign man or woman understands that true value is found in the depth of your character, not the rarity of your possessions. They know that the most precious things in life, truth, peace, and sovereignty, are never for sale, in a flash sale. If you are ready to stop being a slave to the countdown, hit the like button right now to tell the algorithm that we value long-term logic over short-term panic. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca warned us that we are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. The Scarcity Principle is a direct attack on your imagination. It forces you to imagine a future where you are deprived, a future where you are less than others, because you did not act fast enough. George Orwell, in his chilling novel, 1984, showed us how the state can control the mind by controlling the supply of everything, even the supply of words. When something is scarce, you stop thinking about its quality, and you start thinking about its possession. This is the death of the soul, when you are fighting for a limited edition sneaker, or a one-time only investment. You have forgotten who you are. You have become a statistic in a database, but the 100,000 elite minds refuse to be reduced to a number. We are the ones who wait. We are the ones who observe. We are the ones who observe. We are the ones who understand that real power is the ability to say no to the crowd. In the digital world, the authority of scarcity has taken a new and more dangerous form through algorithms of urgency. Social media platforms use ephemeral content, stories that disappear in 24 hours, to keep you addicted to the screen like a drug addict. They are weaponizing your biological fear of missing out on information. This is cognitive scarcity. They want you to believe that if you do not check your phone every 10 minutes, you will lose your place in the social hierarchy of the herd. But the 100,000 elite minds know that the most important information in the universe is timeless. It does not disappear in 24 hours. It remains true for centuries. If you only chase the new and the rare, you will never find the true. You are being distracted by the glitter, so you do not see the gold. This is the moment of truth for your own sovereignty and your own sanity. Are you a panic buyer who is led by the nose by a countdown timer? Or are you part of our community of 100,000 elite minds? True power is the ability to look at a last chance offer and feel absolutely nothing but cold indifference. It is the ability to stand still while everyone else is rushing toward a cliff. If you have the internal strength to reject the artificial famine and keep your mind calm, you must speak up right now. Comment the word "patient" below right now to show that you are no longer a slave to the ticking clock of the Matrix. Your participation is the only way we will reach our goal of 100,000 elite minds. We are deprogramming ourselves from a lifetime of artificial urgency and manufactured fear. Share this with someone who is currently being pressured into a bad financial or life decision by the illusion of scarcity. The bridge to the past is burning, and the only way to the future is through the brutal clarity of internal abundance. Stop letting the deadline dictate your value as a human being. Stop letting the quantity of a product decide the intensity of your desire. Recognize the scarcity principle for exactly what it is: a primitive survival reflex being exploited by high-level predators. Develop the iron discipline to wait, to breathe, and to think deeply before you ever act. The world belongs to those who own their own time, not those who are owned by the fear of losing a temporary opportunity. The light of truth only enters your mind when you realize that you already have everything you need to be sovereign within yourself. Break the scarcity. Look into the dark shadows of their exclusivity. Stand your ground. You are an elite mind. Never forget that the most scarce and precious resource in this entire world is not gold, not oil, and not diamonds. It is a human mind that cannot be manipulated by fear.